Welcome, beautiful souls, to another episode of Just Be True, a soul led podcast, a journey of awakening, healing, and alignment. This podcast was born from a deep desire to live authentically, to strip away the mask, the expectations, and the old stories, and to remember who we truly are. Each episode will explore what it means to live in harmony with our soul's truth through real conversations, intuitive guidance, the powerful moments of reflection. I'm Summer, your host, and thrilled to have you here today. If you're inspired to stay connected to the energy of healing, inspiration, and soul alignment, I encourage you to sign up for my newsletter that is distributed every Sunday with my Just Be True Vibe newsletter. Each week, you'll receive uplifting messages reflected from spirit, simple tools to help you live in harmony and in your truth. So check out our show notes and please sign up to get these delivered directly into your inbox each week. So, as a disclaimer, this episode we will be discussing trauma and our body based emotions. Please care for yourself during this. If you need to pause, skip, or come back later, if anything feels too intense, it is always your choice to stop and not continue or stop when you're in a more comfortable space. So, this episode is for education and spiritual support. It isn't therapy or a substitute for medical care. If you're processing significant trauma, consider working with a licensed therapist or a qualified practitioner. So, just to make sure you get the quality care in which you deserve. We're opening to a tender yet powerful conversation about something that touches every one of us in some way, and that is trauma. And before we begin, please notice your surroundings. Are you somewhere where you feel safe enough? You feel supported and your privacy is respected? If not, consider listening to this at a later time. It's not like you're going to be asked to share your trauma, but sometimes these conversations can be triggers and just want to be mindful of that with everyone. So, trauma is not always what we think it is. I don't want to get into the clinical definitions of trauma, but this is what I will say. There are several different types of trauma. There's acute, chronic, and complex. We may have experienced one of these, if not all of these. Trauma isn't just about what happened, it's about how we hold on to what happened in our bodies. It's the relationship we have with that emotional event that impacted us deeply, whether it was physical, emotional, or something we simply witnessed and absorbed. There's no criteria that says your trauma has to look a certain way to matter. If it hurt you, if it changed you, if it still echoes in your life, it's valid. And it is not for anyone to tell you whether your trauma is valid or serious or anything like that. It's yours, it's what your experiences is, and it's valid just for that simple fact right there. But I would do want to say is that when we hide our pain, it doesn't go away. It finds a home in our body. Maybe it shows up as tightness in our shoulders, fatigue that lingers, or health issues that seem to have no explanations. Our body remembers what our mind tries to forget. So, our bodies are incredible storytellers. They remember what the mind forgets. Every emotion, every experience, every moment of pain or fear that leaves an energetic imprint. When those emotions aren't felt or expressed, they don't just disappear, they settle somewhere in the body. You may be sweeping it under the rug thinking, oh, if I put it up under here, I don't have to face it. And your body holds on to that. So you're not doing yourself any favor whatsoever. If you're one of these that said, yeah, we're not going to talk about that, okay, but your body is going to remember it and it's going to hang on to it and it's going to show up somewhere later. You may not see it now. You may not see it tomorrow. You may not even see it in 10 years from now, but it will show up at some point. Guarantee you. So, from a psychological standpoint, trauma activates the nervous system, floods the body with stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. If that activation never fully resolves, the body stays in a subtle state of defense, like it's still waiting for danger, like the next shoe to drop, like always looking over your shoulder, concerned about things. Over time, this unprocessed energy becomes stored as tension, tightness, pain, and fatigue. And it hides and it comes out sometimes at the least expected moment, or what you may think is the least expected moment. You might feel it in your shoulders and your neck, carrying burdens or responsibilities that aren't yours. You might feel it in your heart and your chest, grieving loss or heartbreak that was never fully released. This doesn't necessarily have to be loss of someone who's passed on. This could be a loss of someone who you were in a relationship with and you're no longer in that relationship for whatever reason. This could be a loss of a pet that you never fully grieved. So the loss could be many things. Stomach. Stomach issues can be held by anxiety, fear, or experience that you could not digest, like you couldn't fully resolve or deal with. Lower back, many times, I'm going to say like most of your back, but lower back in particularly, you may feel unsupported or unsafe. In our throat, truths unspoken or emotions held in silence. And I'm gonna tell you, like, I was really good at that, right? I just zip it up, right? It's not safe for me to say this around you, so zoop, I'm gonna zip it up and I'm not gonna say anything. And I was holding it in. And so that may be why I have thyroid disease today. I have learned that it's safe to speak up and it's safe to share. And I still work on this today. Like, just because I've identified it and I've worked through it doesn't mean that working through never stops. So energetically, these stored emotions can create blockages in our body's natural flow. What many traditions call stagnant energy or dense vibration, the body tries to communicate through sensations. These sensations can be aches, tension, even reoccurring illnesses. It's not punishment, it's communication. If it helps, there's one you can do, like a simple sentence to kind of start that communication. But you have to listen, right? So you can start by saying, today my body speaks in we'll say lower back. My body speaks in my lower back. And it's saying that I don't have support on this new adventure that I'm going on. All right. You don't have to fix it. You just have to witness it. Right. So the healing begins when we listen. And so when we allow ourselves to feel what was once too painful to face, we open space for the energy to begin to move again, to begin to shift and change. Breath work, movement, like physical movement, walking, meditation, Reiki, journaling, one of my favorites, and forgiveness work. All of these things help restore trauma. So our bodies are not betraying us by holding this in. It is inviting us to reconnect. Each ache or discomfort is a whisper from your soul saying, "Hey, there's something here ready to be loved and to be freed." So when we go back to the sentence that I stated earlier, today my body speaks in my, fill it in, and it's saying that, and fill it in. Even though you don't have to fix it at this very moment and you're just witnessing it, I encourage you to ask, "What do I need at this moment?" And listen for that answer, right? It could just be simply self love. It could be like, "I've got to get these emotions out and I got to set them free." It could be, "I need somebody to talk to." So, whatever that is, I encourage you to step into that, right? So, how do we begin to heal? Mm, the first step is to simply acknowledge it, to allow yourself to talk about what happened, even if your voice shakes while you're doing it, even if you start getting into tears. If you can reach out to a trusted therapist or counselor, that's that would be amazing. If that's not available to you, I would say find a friend, a mentor, someone who can hold space for you without judgment. Someone that can be there and just simply listen. They don't have to provide advice. They don't have to provide you anything, just the safety of being able to listen and console, right? The safety of being able to what's mentioned here stays here, right? So you don't have to worry about anything, right? So they're holding a space that is safe and judgment free. Very most important thing. If speaking out loud is too hard, and sometimes speaking out loud these things and saying them out loud is so hard. I mean, I know, right? Then write about it, journal about it, right? Put it down in writing. So I don't care if it's like pen or paper journaling or if it's typing notes in your computer or on your phone, like as long as you're moving that, right? And so you may want to start by asking some things in your journey like, what emotions have been asking for my attention lately? What emotions have been asking for my attention lately? And see what emotion comes up. The tears start flowing? Let the tears flow. Does anger start creeping in? Okay, be angry for a minute, right? I mean, it's okay. It's just you and your journaling. No harm there. Next, I would ask is what would support have looked like to me back then? So, what kind of support in the moment of the trauma that you witnessed or the moment shortly thereafter? What would a support look like for you? Right? And then identify what that is. And then follow up on that. What is just one small way I can offer that support to myself now? Is it listening? We're going to practice listening, right? Is it sharing? You're sharing through your journaling, right? So you're giving yourself that. Is it unconditional acceptance? Give yourself that unconditional acceptance, right? Lack of judgment, release all the judgments around it, right? And be able to hold that space for yourself. And then maybe, another question is what boundary would help my nervous system feel safer, right? So, what kind of boundary do you need to set? What kind of boundaries do you need to set in your life to feel safer, right? And then see about being able to follow through with setting those boundaries and putting them into practice. Even if that means telling someone that you love dearly, but that has may have been a cause of part of the trauma, being able to just let them know, "Hey, I need time to myself. I need time to heal and I need space. And I'll let you know when I'm ready." It's perfectly okay to put a relationship on pause so that you can heal, especially if that relationship, was the trauma. Absolutely nothing wrong with it, right? Because you have to begin to heal yourself. So, recording your thoughts or your emotions is like the most important thing that can allow the words to move out of your mind and into expression. I love that. Allowing the words to move out of your body and into expression. Because once you allow ourselves to feel, to begin to heal, we begin to free ourselves at that same moment. In my own journey, I carry deep wounds from childhood abuse, deep wounds. And for many years, I worked to release this pain, but the full freedom of that didn't come until my abuser passed away. And my abuser didn't pass away until I was like in my 40s. But once my abuser passed, I believed I finally had the permission to talk about what I had experienced more openly. This time, I didn't speak out to gain permission from others or sympathy from others. I did it purely for me. For me to allow myself the freedom to scream, and believe me, I screamed, to yell, I yelled, and I just got it out. And it happened like time and time and time again there for a little while. Many times I was screaming and yelling at my abuser in an empty room by myself, but I was letting it out. And and these were huge moments for me. And finally, it came the moment that was most bittersweet, and yet it allowed me to finally breathe, to forgive, and to reclaim my peace. And what I learned from that experience is that dealing with what happened wasn't on anyone else's timeline, it was on mine. So, whatever your experience with, however your healing takes place, whatever it looks like, it's all yours. And it all happens your way, right? And it happens what best happens for you. It's never too late. It's never too far gone, right? And the moment that you choose to look at what's happened and what you've been hiding from, and you allow this healing to begin, that's the perfect moment for you. And that's all that matters. I don't care if it happened 2 minutes ago or 40 years ago. It doesn't matter. The timing of what's going on is absolutely perfect for you because it's on your time. So together, they with all of these things together, realizing that whether it's journaling or talking or whatever you got to do for that, pulling all these things together to help you feel, to help you heal, and to rest in your own light. There's no shame in having gone through trauma. Many of us have done it, if not all. And so, wear it kind of like a badge of honor, but allow it to heal. Stop holding it in our bodies. The majority of my trauma that I held was in my lower back. And it was hard. Um, when I shared my story with the individual that mattered most, the lack of support that I received from that individual, literally, I mean, almost literally broke my back. So, me opening up and sharing my story, with someone that, was very important to me and that I was looking for, um, I don't know really what I was looking for, right? Acknowledgement, forgiveness, I don't know what but there was absolutely no support from that person, and there was more accusations than support, and that hurt. That hurt terribly. Um, and so literally 2 days later, I hurt my back, my lower back. I got my sciatic nerve, got ended up being pinched, and literally, I lived on the floor for 3 months, and it was rough. I mean, the pain was just, enormous. The emotional pain was just as bad. And so then I started dealing with the, the reality that the expectation of what I was hoping for didn't happen. The reality of the support that I wanted wasn't there. But all of this, I was looking outside of me. Every bit of it, I was looking outside of me. I separated myself. I set my boundaries. Important to set your boundaries. I set my boundaries and I started working through the pain. And I started working through the pain myself. And so, yeah, I screamed and yelled in a room, right? Um, I said what I had to say. I said things that I never felt it was safe for me to say. I let the anger out for the first time after like 30 years, right? Um, it was freeing um at the same time, right? Um, and then the amazing thing about it is, yes, for like 3 months, I basically lived on the floor, but I was supposed to go for no, I did have, modern medical help. I went to orthopedic, about my back. They gave me exercises and stretches to do, and I started doing those. There was supposed to be a series of 3 shots that I was supposed to take for my back. I only had to do 1. The other 2 I never had to go back for. Through exercise, determination, and going through my own emotional healing process, I didn't have to do the other 2 shots. I mean, I was better than I ever was before. And so, realizing for me, 1, letting the emotions out, anger out, because there was a lot of anger there. I'm letting the disappointment free. I'm held quite a bit. But what it is the support that I needed, the forgiveness that I was looking for, I turned inward and I found it within myself. I was no longer looking for it outside. Now, I'm not saying that to say, "Hey, you gotta find it all within." No, sometimes you need to find it outside. Sometimes you need that outside support, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. This is just what I did. So not saying that necessarily everything that I did is right for everyone. This was what was right for me. And so, what I'm saying is find what's right for you. Whatever healing process is right for you, you find what's right for you. But stick with it. Know that you deserve it and find your support system. So, healing trauma isn't about forgetting the past. 'Cause I never forgot the past. It's about transforming your relationship with it. And that's what I've done, right? So every tear, every breath, every act of self compassion brings you closer to wholeness. So being able to embrace that and bring that in. So today, I say take a moment to thank your body. Thank you. Give it a hug, right? It has carried you through everything you thought you couldn't survive. And it's still here, and so are you, guiding you towards peace, right? So you can simply start by saying something like, I honor my body's wisdom. I trust my soul's timing. I am healing in love. So let's say that again, but just a little bit slower. I honor my body's wisdom. I trust my soul's timing. I am healing in love. So I hope you can carry that with you for the rest of the day. So after this episode, drink some water, step outside if you can, or place a warm compress on an area that has held some sensation or some tension for you. If big feelings have surfaced, plan a gentle activity like drinking some warm tea, stretching, or journaling, right? So you can move on with the rest of your day. So I would like to say that if you are in the US and you need immediate support, you can call or you can text 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Hotline. If you're outside of the US, please contact your local emergency number or a national crisis hotline in your country. Right? Just know that there is support and help out there available for everyone. You just finding what's right for you. So, thank you again for joining me today. If this message resonated with you, please be sure to share it with someone that you know who could benefit from hearing it. And remember, healing is not about perfection, it's about presence. Also, if you want some gentle tools delivered weekly, my Just Be True Vibe newsletter includes a crystal and herbal remedy each week, a current blog for inspiration, and a channeled message from the Armanas, my collective that I channel. And this is delivered every Sunday, and the link is in the show notes. So stay in rhythm with your soul spiritual journey and shifts unfolding around you and connect with that each week. And again, it's been a true pleasure. So wonderful that you could be here today and we could share this experience. And until next time, bye.